Hey everybody, what's up? Hello, Miss Robin. Good to have you back again this week. Uh,
Hello. It's good to have you back this week.
that's what I was gonna say. I missed it last week. Uh,
I
I was
did it
being
generic version.
yeah, I was uh, I was being a little bitch about it and had to take the week off. The but yeah, but you know, uh, I kind of like though because I watched some of your stream, the political stream and stuff. I was there for quite a bit of it, just listening. The In
I
fact,
figured you
this
were.
week I found myself this week just lurking in a lot of streams, not messaging or saying anything. You can't be a little bitch; you have to go all out. Thanks, Vaughn.
Full bitch.
That's I was talking about you, Maya, on one of Missing Mod streams the other day, and uh, something I was going on about they misconstrued to something to do with people arguing with you or some shit, and they said something. I don't know what that was about, but anyway, I said, look, I said Maya's been. Yeah, why are you triggering Mod? Yeah, I know. I said, look, Maya's been a great friend, like through everything, and um, but I said, look, you want to sit and say Maya's a bitch or whatever? I said she prides herself on it, like
Did she
I,
say did she say that?
somebody did, and I said, you want to you get mad at the way Maya acts or whatever, but she's not wrong. And I was like, that's the problem, right? I said it's not.
I never. Yeah, I didn't hear. I didn't know she said. I mean, I don't know.
I may have
I
brought it up because Maya says that herself. I wasn't like being being mean. I was saying like if you think Maya's a bitch, like that just makes her stronger. Like, that's she loves that. Just go ahead. I said, but the problem is though is that whenever Maya's arguing a point with you, I've yet to see her be wrong about the position she's taken on that point. And so what do? You want people to. I feed on the tears of the inferior. That's awesome. Like I guess people want you to like tell them they're wrong and pet them on the back while you're doing it. Uh, she's not a bitch until you're the one being called out. Yeah, no, I agree. I wasn't. I love Maya to death, and I love that. The one of the reasons that Bad Science Sunday is my favorite show on YouTube is because the the personalities of Maya and Dr. Tap uh, talking about that stuff, like their personalities come through it, and it's just that's what makes it good. It's not the topics. They cover silly topics, but they're good at it. Like, and that's the thing. Uh, I, I like people to be honest and just call them like they are and stuff. And so you know,
I like it
not
because you can spend money and get Blessed Be He kicked out of the chat.
or get Dr. Tap to strip.
Now, we haven't tried that yet. I'm not going to spend no
Oh,
money on that. I'm sorry,
I've
Doctor
got I've
Tab, but I'm
I
not going to.
clipped that video and I have it. I'm just waiting. uh, the um, People aren't used to being told about themselves. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't take all the critique as spirit intended. I'm stronger because people were on it. Yeah. No, hell yeah. I would rather I would rather somebody be an honest critic than a lying ass kisser, like any day of the week. Yeah, I don't know. And for me, and for people like that feel that way, that's you treat people how you want to be treated. Usually, if you're not a piece of shit, and so you if you feel that way, you're usually blunt and honest with other people, and some people just can't take that. Like there's a lot of delicate little snowflakes out there. And speaking of snowflakes, though, this is our political news show, and as we get into this here, we're gonna look at some of
The
that. But
GOP.
yeah, we're gonna look at the
They are
GOP
a
today.
blizzard.
Speaking of snowflakes,
They are a blizzard.
I put up a poll in the chat. So it just says red or blue. If everybody will click one of those for me, if you're here, if you're watching from Robin's channel, you know, that's fine too. Whatever. Looks like I've got people coming in from Al's on your channel and my channel.
Hey, I was getting both of us. That's good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, Maya, I feel you. But while a few people are still showing up and stuff, because it takes a few minutes for everybody to see the streams up going. We got about 10 right now. I want to talk about some stuff going on with the channel because I haven't went over this yet, and some changes and some things. I'm changing the name of the channel. I haven't settled on exactly what it's going to be yet, but it's either going to be something like Kentucky Skeptics or Kentucky Skeptic. I think Kentucky Skeptic Society, which is what I had posted in the community tab for members. I think I'm going to use that for the membership, the name of the membership tier. I'm going to call it that, and the channel will just be like Kentucky Skeptics or something like that. The more I look at the Kentucky Atheist, like I love the name, but it limits a lot of who will watch my stuff and things. Because we're not always talking about atheist issues here. We're not always talking about religion, although we do quite a bit. But, you know, Skeptic allows us to do that and other things. Barnaby Wild sent a $2 super chat with lots of cool guy smiley faces. Thanks, Barnaby.
Barnaby, I'll see you in a couple of days.
Yeah, I won't be there. I haven't told you that yet. I'm not coming.
I figured you weren't going.
Well, it's just the last couple weeks have just been shitty, and
I'm actually going up to Friday instead of waiting until Saturday morning because it's so far a drive for me. So I booked a room for both nights, Friday night and Saturday night. So I'll be able to be there because it starts at like 9:00.
Yeah,
in the morning, which is 8 my time. So I was going to have to leave about 3:00 in the morning to be there on time.
Yeah.
From here. So I'm going to go ahead and go up there Friday night and spend the night. And
yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I wanted to go, and I still want to go. And if something happens in the next couple of days and I can pull it off, I will. But I just can't do it right now. Like things went downhill quickly this summer. I had a job and stuff and lost it and all that bullshit with the car and all that stuff. And so I can't do it. It's just not a good. My kid just started school and stuff, and
I understand.
Yeah, it's things have been kind of hectic here.
I plan to stream sometime Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm gonna, maybe I'll get a bunch of pictures or something, and I don't know if I'll be able to stream. Depending on what the schedule is, I don't know if I'll be able to stream during the day, but I'm gonna stream after it's over. Maybe Barnaby can join me.
Yeah, yeah, that would be cool. That would be awesome. I've met Barnaby in real life, so I know what he looks like. But
I won't know what he looks like. You'll know what I look like. You'll know me before I see him.
Yeah.
You'll have to come up and tell me who you are, Barnaby.
That's how actually when we met, that's what he did. He walked in. I thought he was somebody that worked at the restaurant we were at because we were all sitting out on the patio having a beer. I knew he was coming, but I didn't pay any attention when he walked in, and he was like, "Hey, he's like, hey, Joe," and I was like, "Oh, hey, man." Real life happens. Yes, it does. Yes, it does for sure. So anyway, I took the week off from the political show. I kind of cut back on my shows the last couple weeks. I've only done a couple. I've got stuff scheduled still coming up. I've got an author on, Mark Alsip from Kentucky is an author that wrote a book called Journey to Reason. You can buy it on Amazon or whatever. But he's going to be on Sunday. We're going to give away some of his books. Cool. I think the way we're going to do that is he's going to give me some Audible codes so that you can go get it for free, just off Audible, and we'll do it like that. But I've also got some PDF versions of it if anybody wants that. The actual physical books are only like $10, but there's other ways to give them to you, so I'm not gonna buy them. Again, things have been kind of shitty. Although this beautiful house behind me here looks great and stuff, that's not my house. It's just a background.
This is mine.
Yeah. This is not actually where I live. But you need to come out. Gather. Yeah. I haven't been on there in a minute. I used to go check Gather all the time to try and catch people on there. But I haven't been talking to anybody. I've just been like, I don't know.
Me and PC and Stephanie have been, and Tsunami have been staying up really late. In fact, they got me home, from Murfreesboro like a couple of times this week. Stayed up till like 3 or 4 o'clock my time. Talking.
Yeah.
So
no, I actually lost my job a few weeks ago, but I've been all right, not struggling too bad anyway or anything, but this past weekend, like, I didn't even go outside. Today was the first time I've been outside in a week, and I just didn't. I've sat in my room in the dark for a week. Just, I don't know. Sometimes I do that. But anyhow, off the depressing stuff, because I know everybody wants to hear about that. But I've actually got quite a few clips lined up today of stuff to talk about and stuff. So we'll get right into it. And unless you got something you want to say before we get into this stuff, Robin.
We can do that first, or I just wanted to mention we had another thing today. So
well, let's talk about that first. So
yeah,
that way we can, because I don't want to end on that.
Yeah.
Big Bad Mama, you're welcome to come join us if you want.
Hey, are you bashing Trump without you? We will. I do it all the time, Big Bad Mama. I don't care who's joining me. I'm on. That's my job. My goal in life.
Yeah. I will call Robin to ask about something completely nothing to do with politics. Like, hey, did you see this channel? And she'd be like, yeah, I did. You know what's pissing me off? These motherfuckers that love Trump. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm like, I was sent by God to harass Trump.
Yeah. Do you know what she'll call me? Did you see what the Supreme Court did? And I'm like, well, no. What happened now? The truth of it is, though, actually, usually I do. But yeah, so we had a school shooting again that made national news, and I don't, honestly, I got to think about it. I don't care if they demonetize it. They demonetize half my videos anyway, so.
But we don't have to get too much. It's two teachers and 2 students.
Yeah.
14-year-old suspect who's still alive. That they said they already said they were going to try as an adult. I don't even know how they can. The sheriff doesn't make that decision. The prosecutor does, but
yeah. Well, I think there's certain, in some states they have laws like if it's so bad of a crime or whatever, it's automatically they get tried as an adult. There's like certain, so it may be something like that. But yeah, that's weird for the sheriff to be coming out and saying that, because that's not their place to say it, even if that's the case. But
he even said that it's pure evil. in his like his talk, he said this is pure evil. I mean,
Yeah.
this kid's 14 years old. He's not pure. There's no such thing as pure evil. I mean, even even the worst human alive had something good about them. There's no. I just don't believe that in such a pure evil doesn't exist as an entity all to itself. And I feel like that there's something that led this kid. Who knows?
You know what I think is
but
pure evil? Knowing that the number one cause of death in children is gun violence, and not doing anything about it other than saying, "Oh, our thoughts and prayers go out to them." I think that's evil. Yeah, I think that's evil.
And this person's mentally ill. That's what they say every time.
Yeah. Not only are they in a position to do something about it, but it's literally their job to do it, and they instead loosen gun laws and regulations and stuff, and this stuff happens more and more. And yeah, I think that's evil personally. So fuck him.
I haven't heard what the weapon was. I don't know what kind of weapon he had.
No.
Have y'all heard? I just know he was 14 years old. His name was Clay something. I can't think of the name. His first name was that was the name of a gun. Like, I can't remember what it was, but
yeah,
it's a gun name. His first name is a gun name. Like,
well, but all right. So there's not a lot of details out on that, but as we find out more about it and stuff, we may talk about it some more next week on the show or something. But today, let's talk about some of the stuff that's been going on recently. So Trump, in his New York trial, he wrote a motion to the federal court up in New York, trying to have his case removed from state court, which he's already been convicted of, because of the Supreme Court's immunity thing, which I don't know how that. Number one, the whole thing with Stormy Daniels and the fraud that took place there, that's when he was campaigning. He wasn't even president yet. Now, sure, some of the payments and stuff took place afterwards, but most of that happened during the campaign because they didn't want it to come out while he was running. So I don't know why he thinks he would get some kind of executive privilege as a candidate, but they don't have that. And Trump's crazy. So, in his other case, first about the motion, the judge immediately said, "No, you're stupid," again, because this is the second time he's done it, and shot him down because, number one, you're supposed to file those motions before you're arraigned in state court. The federal court system can't just, they won't just interfere in a state court case. They're not going to do that. So they the same day, within hours of them submitting the motion, it was denied. But now in his other case, where the immunity thing does kind of apply, or at least it's part of the case now. It's not going to save him, I don't think. The election interference case, Trump actually did an interview this week where he mentioned a little bit about this, and here's a little short clip. Let's watch it and see what he had to say about it.
You get indicted for interfering with a presidential election where you have every right to do it. You get indicted and your poll numbers go up. When people get indicted, your poll numbers go down. We have the enemy outside, which would be the very standard countries, and we have the enemy from within. We have some very sick people from within. I think that the people that go around indicting their political opponent, especially when their political opponent didn't want to do it to them, I could have done it so easy.
All right. So, I don't know if everybody caught it there, but Trump just admitted to a crime on national television.
Yeah.
When you interfere,
and said he had right.
Yeah, yeah. Listen to this first part one more time here.
You get indicted for interfering with a presidential election where you have every right to do it. You get indicted and your poll numbers go up. When people
So you get indicted for interfering with an election, and you had every right to do it. That's him confirming that he interfered in the election. This man, his lawyers have to literally shit their pants every time he does an interview, because
I would tape his mouth shut. I wouldn't be his lawyer. I wouldn't be his lawyer. I mean, you have to be Giuliani scummy to want to be a lawyer for that man.
I would almost guarantee you that provided the election interference case moves forward, I would almost guarantee a jury watches this video, because this is him admitting to the whole thing. I interfered in the election, but I had every right to do it. So they don't have to show, he's admitted guilt over and over and over, many times in interviews. They're not going to have to show that he actually did it. They're going to have to just show that
he tried.
Yeah, that he didn't have a right to do it. That'll be what the case rests on, is they'll have to show why he doesn't have a right to do these things, which is stupid because it's pretty fucking clear. Like, it's not really a real question.
Is this the Georgia case that you're talking about?
No, this is the Washington, D.C. election interference case in front of Judge Tanya Chutkan. They were waiting on the Supreme. They were waiting on the Supreme Court's decision on the presidential immunity case, and then they just filed a superseding indictment here a few days ago and re-indicted him.
Is that the one Jack Smith? That's the Jack Smith case, right?
Yeah, this is the Jack Smith case that's not in Florida, right?
Okay, yeah.
This is a Washington, D.C. grand jury.
Yeah, they had to take out all the part about Jeff Clark because he wouldn't like where he was trying to convince Clark to be to take over, the Department of Justice and everything, and so they took all that out. But this was a brand new grand jury, so this is the 5th grand jury now that has indicted him.
Yeah,
he's overall. So this was a separate. They used a separate grand jury. They used a separate one from the last time.
So what they did was they took the Supreme Court decision on presidential immunity, and they applied it to the charges. They went through and rewrote the indictment and stuff. And a grand jury looked at it and said, no, not only does that presidential immunity not apply to these things because they're outside the scope of the presidency, but also he in fact did commit these crimes. So a grand jury's decided that, and he'll stand trial for it. And I would say, just like the rest of us, he will have to he'll have to face justice for this. But as we've seen, that's not really been the case so far. So but the state cases, I think, are where it's at, because the federal government can't interfere in the state cases so much anyway. They're trying, but it's harder for them to insert themselves in the middle of it. Supreme Court justices can't really do a whole lot for him in a state case. But
he won't be able to pardon
himself,
right? Huh? He won't be able to pardon himself.
No, yeah, even if he pardons himself, it doesn't apply to state charges.
Yes.
So yeah, he can't do anything. He needs a governor's pardon for that. So this
and
interview,
he insulted Kemp. In fact, he insulted Kemp's wife this week too. So
yeah.
He's doing well. The person that can pardon him, he's insulting.
This isn't the only beautiful take from that interview, though. Let's look at this other one here. This other one cracks me up, actually.
All these things that I normally wouldn't agree to. Now they have Kamala, who they say has many deficiencies, but she's a nasty person. The way she treated Mike Pence was horrible. The way she treats people is horrible. But the way she treated Justice Kavanaugh during that hearing, in the history of Congress, nobody's been treated that way.
So he
made
really
Kavanaugh
said,
cry. She is my hero.
he really just said, have you seen the way that Kamala Harris treats Mike Pence?
Mike
This dude
Pence
tried to have him fucking hung.
Yeah. But Kamala made Kavanaugh cry. I love it. To me,
and that's the other thing. Kavanaugh,
right there.
like, you have
rapist.
witnesses sitting in the chambers at the time saying this person sexually assaulted me in this way, blah blah blah, and you want to say, oh, he was treated so unfairly. He's not in fucking prison. He made it to a Supreme Court justice. I don't think he was treated that bad at all. I mean, like,
and they dropped all kinds of cases against him. He had tons of ethics cases against him at the time that he was nominated, and they all went away. Yes. And the FBI, like, they were supposed to set up a call, like a hotline, and they routed the hotline to the White House.
Yeah, and Bill Barr shut that Trump shit down when he got in there.
Yeah, but I mean, that's how Kavanaugh, you know what I mean? And anybody that doubts that Kavanaugh didn't sexually assault Dr. Ford needs to go watch her testimony.
Yeah.
He did it.
Yeah, it's like it's like we're, you know, it's like we're arguing with flat earthers almost. That's how stupid this shit is, because it's like, oh yeah, Kamala's such a nasty person. Okay, Trump, like, you've been convicted of rape, well, sexual assault, right? You raped a woman. That's a fact. It's not like I'm making it up. You committed rape. You fucking, I mean, you're involved with Jeffrey Epstein and all this other stuff, and you're on here defending
on his plane.
Yeah. You're defending, and we've got a clip about you know what I'm talking about. It's your clip, actually. But I mean, like, he's defending the actions of saying, oh, he was treated so poorly. Like, what about his victims? How are they treated? Because they were called fucking liars and shit, like, in front of the whole world. So forgive me if I don't feel any empathy for poor Brett Kavanaugh's and you know, his feelings and little Pip and T and Jerry Doo-Doo, or whoever the hell his friends were that he talked about. Like, Trump for prison. Get that in frame.
I hope he goes to prison with Trump.
Yeah. So let's there's another part to this clip here. Let me let it keep playing for a second.
But I had no right to overturn the election. And then on that day, President Trump asked me to put him over the Constitution. But I chose the Constitution, and I always will. I mean, I really do believe that anyone who puts themselves over the Constitution should never be president of the United States.
There it is.
And anyone who asks someone else to put themselves over the Constitution should never be president of the United States again.
Right. So this is the first time in American history that a vice president who is still alive won't endorse the person he served with for a second term. First time in history it's happened.
No Republican presidents that are alive will vote for him either. Like
right.
George
First
W.
time
Bush,
in history of that too. Yeah,
it's not supporting him.
Yeah. You know, I don't like Mike Pence. I think Mike Pence I think he promotes purity culture, and I think I think that Mike Pence is an awful human being personally. But I mean, he got this one right. I mean, I don't care to call them right when they're right, and he's exactly right here. You know, Trump talks about Kamala treated Pence so horribly. Trump tried to have him hung, and here is Pence telling you exactly how it is. Like, look, you know, I can't support somebody who did these things. So what do you want to bet that even though Trump's saying, oh, Kamala's treating him so poorly, what do you want to bet Pence votes for her? Who you think he's going to vote for? Oh, by the way, I posted a poll in the chat that says red or blue. If everybody will, just click that for me, and we will look at the results here in a little bit. Is this a correct or incorrect stream? I don't know what that means.
I want to say hi, Beamsy.
Hi, Beamsy. You don't know me, but I've seen you around quite a bit, especially over on Mark Reed's channel and stuff. But anyway, so again, let's follow this little path here that Trump's making for us, where he talks about Brett Kavanaugh, and he's defending someone who assaulted other people. Politically correct or incorrect? I would say that
that's what. Yeah, he was asking, was this show politically correct or politically incorrect? He was like,
well, I mean, I would say I'm politically incorrect, but like, it's very much a left-leaning place, if that's what you're asking. But so next we're going to look.
He don't live in the United States anyway, so he don't care about. He's not too worried about.
Right? Yeah, he don't give a shit anyhow. Let's look at another interview with Lex Friedman and follow that. This one's funny, actually. I'm glad Robin sent me this.
Where you had some hesitation about Epstein, releasing some of the documents on Epstein. Why the hesitation?
I don't think I mean, I'm not involved. I never went to his island.
That wasn't the fucking question. I mean, isn't that weird?
Yeah, but see, because there was a video earlier where somebody asked him would he release the JFK files.
Yeah.
He said yes. And they asked him would he release. There was another conspiracy case that they asked, and they said yes. And then they said, would you release the Epstein files? And he said, I don't know. There might be a lot of false information in those.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people's names in there, and we don't know what's what, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So, first of all, though, he's asked, you know, why did you hesitate about that question? And his answer is, I didn't do it. So
yeah, I ain't been there. He has been there. We know he has.
I was never there. I don't know who that is. It doesn't get better though. Let's keep going.
Fortunately, but a lot of people did.
Why do you think so many smart, powerful people allowed him to get so close?
He was a good salesman. He was, was a hale and hearty type of guy. He had some nice assets that he'd throw around, like islands. But a lot of big people went to that island. But fortunately, I was not one of them.
It's just very strange for a lot of people that the list of clients that went to the island has not been made public.
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? Probably will be, by the way. Probably.
So if you're able to, you'll be...
Yeah, I'd certainly take a look at it. Now, Kennedy's interesting because it's so many years ago. They do that for danger, too, because, it endangers certain people, et cetera, et cetera. So Kennedy is very different from the Epstein thing. But, yeah, I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with
it. Yeah. Sounds like it, like... you're right, AJ. He doesn't realize that the question isn't about himself. Right. He can't answer. I guess he's so used to being a defendant at this point that he can't answer the question without saying not guilty.
I mean, he said one time that Epstein was a great guy, a really great guy. That was his quote.
What he was getting into there.
And that's when all the pictures. And then the woman, whatever her name is, I can't think of her name. When they asked him about her being in jail that time, he said, "Oh, I wish the best for her."
I wish her the best. Yeah. About Ghislaine Maxwell.
But
or Ghislaine
he
Maxwell,
has been to Epstein Island.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the people that accused him of sexual assault was a girl that was 13 years old that was on that island.
Yep.
And she claims that, Maxwell, she claims that Epstein and Trump both
Yeah. Now,
assaulted her at the same time.
Yeah. So there are, let me just, and I guess I should have brought the receipts for all this, but it's out there. You can look it up, I guess. So let's, there were a bunch of files released in the Jeffrey Epstein case, and Trump's name is all over everything. They've got him calling in to Jeffrey's, they've got him calling into Epstein's house and making appointments and leaving weird messages and stuff. And they have him on the plane many, many times. There's all kinds of videos out there of him with Jeffrey Epstein at parties looking at young girls and stuff. There's the Howard Stern interview where he's talking about young girls and everything. So take all that and remember that, put a pin in it. Now let's move forward. So they have released a lot of the witness test or the victim testimony or the interrogations where the cops were talking to these people, and one after another they say, yeah, I was told to come there and get naked and give him a massage, and if I had any other friends to do it, to get them to come too, and I was given $200. And person after person after person tells the same exact story about Epstein. So, first of all, the question is, why was Jeffrey Epstein not charged for that? Because he wasn't. But second, like, all of this fits together with the whole Trump scheduling to go down there and this whole thing about massages and stuff. And we know a creationist guy that likes to have kids giving massages too, actually, but we're not going to get into that. I mean, sure, there's not anything that puts Trump directly doing it other than, some witness statements that I don't know anything about those, though. I'm not saying that they're not true. The Kentucky Atheist getting naked. Now, where do I pay to view that? Depends on how much you're paying.
Kentucky Atheist? I hope you're talking about this Kentucky Atheist and not that one.
Yeah. I'm
bored.
You want to hear something funny? Good. So you know how I look for other atheists in Kentucky and stuff, and like I try to have them come on and be part of the community and all that, because there's not a whole lot of us. So some of you probably know Summer, right? I had never talked to Summer, and I decided to just email her and say, hey, why don't you come talk to me and whatever? I'd like to do an interview with you. And she's like, who the hell are you? And and she had no clue on it. It was kind of funny. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I kind of got ahead of myself there and just assumed that I'm famous. Joe getting naked now. Where do I pay to view that? It depends on how much you pay. I mean, you can send a big enough super chat through right now, and I'll show you whatever you want to see.
Beansy, I'm worried about you. I mean, you went missing for a while, and yeah.
I mean, I could do the rest of the show topless, but you're still just going to see my shoulders. How do you know that? How do you know I'm not naked now? But yeah. So anyway, it seems like to me that even though there may not be enough there to like charge Trump for any kind of assault at the moment, we don't know what all is in all that stuff because they haven't released the list, and nobody's talking about all the videos, because Jeffrey Epstein had a ton of videos of powerful people engaged in illegal activity, so he could use it to blackmail them and get what he wanted. And we haven't heard anything about what happens with that stuff. And, but whatever. What do you mean I get butt hurt, blessed be he? You're not blocked.
PC, do
You're
what
not.
I know. PC, do you just do what you need to do with her?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's not gonna derail the stream.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Let's farm. Thanks for the kind words. But so yeah, it's
Thank you.
While there may not be enough there to actually make the charge, I think we're talking about electing this guy as president though, and like it's obvious that even if he isn't guilty of going to the island or whatever, that he is involved, and that should be enough to say, hey, like, I don't know if this guy did it or not because he hasn't been found guilty, but why would I vote for someone who was possibly involved with one of the biggest modern traffickers of this time? Like, why even? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good. I'll put it that way. So we've went through a lot of the the crazy stuff Trump said and all that stuff. Let's look at some good news here. Let's take a break and look at some good stuff. And this clip's a couple minutes long. I probably won't let the whole thing play, but we'll watch a little bit of it.
On your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's
.org about the surge in voter registration and the potential impact on the upcoming election.
Hold on a
Andrea
minute.
Haley, thanks very much for joining us on this Labor Day.
What?
I think this PC, there's a spammer, I think, in the chat. You see it?
Oh yeah. That?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, remove that. That's spammer, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why I don't have the option to.
I don't know if it's on your
it's because
channel.
it's coming through Twitch. It's through Twitch. Just ignore it.
Oh, it is. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Twitch is real bad for that.
And I'm gonna say hi to Mikey.
Yeah, I was actually going to do
that. Yeah, the Trusty Ape and
yeah.
And Dean. Thank you.
Thanks
Dean.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Whether you're watching here or on Robin's channel, whatever. If you're watching here and you're not subscribed to Robin's channel, go over there and check that out. I don't think there's enough people in Twitch to mod anything, PC. I mean, you can go block that person if you want. I don't know if I have to do anything to allow you to do that or whatever, but I haven't done a lot on the Twitch end of it. I've got some plans for that as we move forward into the Kentucky Skeptic thing, but we'll get into that later. AJ's running for president. You got my vote. There it is. There it is. I'll vote for you, AJ. But what's going on in Robin's chat? What is going on in Robin's chat? Something here.
I hope there's a fight.
Yeah. But
I mean,
yeah,
I guess we're getting both chats, right? We're getting both chats, right?
The ones that have a little link on them, a little chain link, those are from your channel. The other ones are from my channel, in StreamYard anyway. But
I don't even know if I have anybody on my channel.
Yeah. But all right, so let's look at this good news.
Organization Vote.org saw a surge in voter registration after July 21st. And of course, that was that Sunday when President Biden announced he was going to step aside. So my question to you is, who are these folks that are registering as a result of the president stepping aside? What states do they live in, perhaps most importantly?
Yes, I mean, we saw a 700% spike in registrations after President Biden stepped down. We particularly saw spikes among young people. Most of the registrations were 18 to 34, which for voters was considered the younger cohort. And we particularly this year are seeing spikes in the registration of 18-year-olds, which is very, very interesting. Some of the states that were affected were Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. So this is about to make everything very, very interesting.
Okay.
By the end.
So check that out. Check out that little graphic there. Voter registration spikes after Biden exits the race. Nearly 40,000 people registered to vote in 48 hours. It's a lot higher now. I think it's many hundreds of thousands now, I think. But the voter registration went up 700% once Kamala took over. And number one, like, I don't care. This whole video is about, and I think we'll probably just not play the rest because it just goes on about this. But this whole video is talking about how it's young people, it's 18-year-olds and college students and all that. I don't care who it is, because as long as people vote, Republicans don't win. That is the formula. If people go and vote, they lose.
100 was 98% raise in Black women. There was 176% in young Black women. I mean,
yeah.
And of course, this shows that 83% of these 700% were 18 to 34.
Yeah.
You know, Trump's
That's awesome.
toast. Trump is toast. If these people get out and vote, and if they went and registered just close to election, I think they mean to vote. They didn't want to vote. They did not want to vote for Biden because of the, and I don't understand that, but because it really, you know, the whole deal going on in Palestine, you know, you can't lay all that on Biden's feet. But
yeah. AJ says, my platform will be based on drive-through abortions for all, universal health care for Democrats, and Beretta and a stick of butter for every American. We already get that in Kentucky. We don't get none of that foreign Beretta French shit though. We got Glocks here.
Yeah, and coats and like
Berettas are junk.
Smith and Wesson. Smith and Wesson.
Yeah. My first I'm not going to talk about that. But probably not the best subject. But yeah, Berettas are plastic junk made by foreigners. We don't like foreigners around here. No, I'm joking, of course. Whenever you're born in Kentucky, they give you,
they fit your hand for a gun. Yeah.
You get fitted for your own personal arsenal, and and your first bottle they deep fry it. But yeah, well, we got High Points. We can all buy High Points. Don't buy a High Point if you're gonna buy one.
I bought me a what's what are they called? It's got like the Delta 8 or Delta 9 or whatever in it. Anyway, it's a little looks like a little vape.
Is Glock a foreign gun? I thought Glock was made in America. Well, let's switch to Ruger then. I don't think Ruger's American.
Motorboard holsters on them. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Behe, unfortunately, we can see you. Yes, unfortunately, we can see you. And don't call Beamsy creepy anymore. Okay, he's not creepy. You know,
that's what I tried to tell you, Behe. You said I was butthurt and stuff. You're not blocked. I block you when you act up and you're warned and somebody has to block you. I leave you blocked and then I unblock you eventually. That's what I do unless you come on here and do something that would cause me like porn bombs or something like that. I don't perma block anybody. Even, some of the people I've blocked are almost everybody's been unblocked except for the people that have came on and porn bombed and all that stuff. And I give people another chance. Of course, I keep a closer eye on it.
PC said she's chasing her around.
Yeah. Yeah. If, like people come on and screw up and they say things and they do things, and I get it. Like, I get it. Like, but whenever I block somebody, it's not a personal thing. It's so I can continue to do business here. Right? This is so I'm not distracted the whole time that I'm trying to do a show with stupid shit. So that's why I end up having to block people. Now, once I give them like a month or something to cool down or whatever, I'll go back and I'll unblock them. And they can come back, and if they want to come in and talk or whatever, fine. If they can't behave, I'll block them again and do it all over again. You've been blocked 3 different times, Dehe, and here you are. So I sub to TKS and then you block me. You can get very heated. That's not cool. Well, I'm sorry if you feel that way. I'll tell you what's also not cool, though. Calling my friends Nazis. I don't care for that. So, but
I told PC to do whatever she wanted to do with her.
Yeah. PC, I trust PC to take care of all that. So, I'm not blocking anybody right now.
She's a mod on both channels, so she can block you. She can mute you on both channels.
PC can block you anywhere in the atheist community, pretty much.
Just about,
yeah, on 3 different channels at the same time. But yeah, piss her off real good, and you'll be blocked everywhere. Behe, I'm trying to stay cool with you. I do. I don't dislike you. We've interacted a few times, and you've said some shitty stuff to me or whatever, but it's okay. I'm okay. We'll get along. We'll get there. We'll get you converted yet. But yeah.
Okay. This clip right here. This is how gross this Fox and the Trump campaign, they don't have anything. They don't have any kind of answers for her policies. You know what I mean? They don't have any. They don't. All they do is stick to sexist and racist
culture war
slurs and dog whistles, and it's just really gross.
That's the point I was going to make with this too. Is when I play this video, I want you to think about what Kamala Harris is going out and doing at her rallies, talking about how we're going to get people insured, how we're going to take care of the economy, how we're going to take care of the environment, how we're going to take care of each other. Like, Kamala Harris is going and talking about things. Huh?
Hope and joy.
Hope and joy.
Hope and joy. Yeah.
Kamala Harris is going and addressing the issues that Americans care about and trying to figure out how she can help make the country a better place for everyone, not just Democrats. Democrats, on the other hand, are busy slinging mud about stupid shit or engaging in bigoted culture war shit rather than addressing the policies. And when we talk about why we would want a person to be the leader or president of this country, we want to have an idea of how they're going to do that. And with Republicans, they don't ever talk about that. It's always, we hate this group of people. We hate this group of people. Yeah.
They just bash other people's ideas. And Fox, Fox, this is, I wouldn't even allow Fox to be in the White House press conference.
I know Peter Ducey's awful, but keep in mind the things that Kamala Harris talks about, and let's hear what the GOP is concerned about here. Now, don't take a drink before I play this. You'll spit it.
What sounds like a Southern accent?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
let me start it over.
She was talking about unions. Since when does the vice president have what sounds like a Southern accent?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
She
was talking about unions in Detroit using one tone of voice.
Is this something that
same line?
Okay, Peter.
That she used the same line in Pittsburgh, and it sounded like she at least had some kind of a Southern drawl.
Do you hear the question that do you think Americans seriously think that this is an important question? They care. You know what they care about? They care about the economy. They care about lowering costs. They care about health care. That's what Americans care about.
So
That's what they want to hear.
This is something...
They care about, your colleague just asked me about what basically we talked about, went back and forth about democracy and freedom. That's what they care about. I'm not even going to entertain some question about the president. It's just hearing it sounds so ridiculous.
Well, but hearing it is...
The question, I'm talking about the questions is just insane.
Is that how she talks in meetings?
I'm just, Peter, we're moving on. We're still moving around. Go ahead, Anita.
Thanks. Kamala Harris. Look at his smirk on his face.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, when they try to attack Kamala Harris, in every metric, they've done such awful things that they have to resort to shit like this and say, well, Kamala Harris is using a Southern accent. And we're going to look at some clips in a minute and that compares the two. Because I agree, her accent was different. But sometimes people do that. Like when you're around people who talk in a different accent, sometimes you pick up on it a little bit unknowingly. Al told me one day after sitting and talking to me for a couple hours, he went and talked to his wife and she asked why he was talking like a redneck. So like, it's definitely a thing that happens. Now, is she doing it purposely to connect with people or whatever? Maybe, but you know what she's not doing? She's not taking rights away from women. She's not attacking the LGBTQ community. She's not passing.
She's not playing the race card.
Yeah. She's not hurting children.
She's not playing the race card. They're playing the race card against her, but she hasn't mentioned it once.
Isn't that so weird? Isn't that of all the positions, and again, not talking from a morality position, just strictly business position here. If you want to, like, you're running against Kamala Harris, a much younger woman with both African and Asian heritage, right? So, how do you want to go about doing this? Oh, what you want to do is you want to act like she's not black? Like, come on, man. Like, this is you got to be kidding me. I have to imagine when Trump is talking sometimes, just off screen behind the camera, there's some campaign advisor going, because of the stuff he says, like,
or like this.
So
probably it's he don't know how to attack a woman. I mean, he just, that's all he wants to do is attack women. That's all they do. I've lost a lot of friends this week on Facebook. And I'm probably gonna lose more. And one of them put on there all this stuff about her sleeping her way to the top. And I just want to say that if women could sleep our way to the top, there would be more of us up there.
No doubt.
So
no doubt. I think that's like, especially whenever you get somebody like Trump saying stuff like that, who prided himself on going and doing interviews talking about sleeping around, who cheated on his wife with a porn star and caught a case over it. Like, how are you going to make this? That's why they have to resort to shit like this.
And it's been adjudicated for rape. And it has like 16 other women who have actually allegedly, claimed that he allegedly abused them. But it's all about her. He's so
stupid. I know.
They're so evil, but they're so dumb. Thank goodness.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. Like it's on the surface, like the base for MAGA that is worried about these culture issues and doesn't give a shit about policy and all that stuff, doesn't care. Like they just want anybody. We don't take kindly to your kind around here, like that kind of shit. Like that's what it's all about with them, is how to exclude people. When we have a whole nother party that's trying to find a way to make the country better for everyone. I'm not gonna get into it there. But Let's see what JD Vance
No.
says.
That was about me.
Is
anyway.
a phony who
I
caters
know.
to whatever audience is in front of her. I don't know if you saw this, but earlier this week, look up the clip. She went down to Georgia, and started talking with a fake Southern accent.
Person in our
All right. So what? What if she did? Like what? Let's look at it in as bad a light as we can, okay? Kamala
I don't
Harris,
think he knows what a Southern accent sounds like, because I listen to the. When she speaks, she has a way, and she's done it before now. She has a way of emphasizing certain words, like, you know what I mean? And
I agree. The accent or the way that she talks varies some. And this clip, once I play this again, you'll see she is talking differently, but it's not like some extreme thing. It's you can tell that she's picking up a little bit. It sounds to me like a Louisiana accent. I mean, so what? Let's look at it in the worst light possible for her, okay? She's going and she's pretending to have this accent in order to get people to support her. Let's just say it as bad as it can be. That's why she's doing it. Did she commit sexual assault or fraud or try to overturn the government? Has she threatened to be a dictator? What has she called everybody, like saying that the country's filled with crazy cat ladies that don't have kids and shit? Like, has she done any of that? She hasn't done any of that. So, like, who gives a shit if her accent varies a little bit? Like,
and actually, she's raising her. They have stepkids. She has stepkids, and she actually has the endorsement of her husband's ex-wife. So,
yeah. So
here's
this clip here is going to show a few different examples, and I'm going to let. I think there's 3 of them. There might be 4. I'm going to let all of them play, and then we'll talk about it some more. Because I'm willing to view this in the worst light possible, and it still doesn't mean shit. So let's watch.
Our nation has benefited from that work. Everywhere I go, I tell people, you may not be a union member, but you better thank unions for that 5-day work week. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. So, friends,
sounds like a preacher to me.
64 days until the most election.
Yeah, I think there's a difference in when she's talking calmly like that and when she's on a roll saying it, first of all. And I don't see a problem with it. Even viewing this in the worst light possible, that she's doing it to get people to connect with her, I don't see a problem with that. Like, I don't see as long as the words that she's saying aren't related to some of those Southern ideas that she's like, I don't care. Like, who gives a shit? This is stupid. But let's watch and see what they're all worked up about here.
Of our lives. Let's just get through the next 64 days. How about that? And you all helped us win in 2020. And in 2024, we will win again. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024. Yes, we will. He's going to jail. Well, the courts will handle that, and we will handle November. How about that? Here's the thing. The courts are going to handle that. We're going to beat them in November.
Yeah, I don't see it really. That last one wasn't even. I don't even see anything in that one.
Well, you had some hesitation about Epstein.
What? We don't want to go back to that.
It's such stupid stuff, and people are actually on Facebook commenting on this, and I'm like, because I just ignore, and I'm ignoring BE because she just really needs some. Yeah. She's just like Maya said, you're not being blocked you're being blocked because you're just stupid.
I know I've been accused of R and stealing money and kicking a baby like a football, but my opponent used a fake accent. Exactly. That's how I feel about it. It's like, so what? And I welcome you to talk to me anytime about those traditional American values, BE. Anytime you want to have that conversation. We can even do it with you in chat. Go ahead.
She's been she's been spending all day in Georgia, probably talking to Kemp, and Georgia is a place of thick accent anyway, so it takes probably about 5 minutes being around a Georgian to pick up that Southern drawl.
And people get they get emotionally invested in their arguments whenever they're on a roll talking about this stuff. So it's not surprising to me that she's been surrounded by people with a thick Southern accent. And then when she goes on stage and is repeating some of the things she's talked to these people about, that she does it with a thick Southern accent. That's not surprising. If I went down south and gave a speech, I would probably sound worse than I do now. It's
me too.
It's just something that people do. But take that away, even if she did it on purpose, so what? It doesn't matter. Maya said, she's clearly doing it on purpose to get them to laugh. She's probably been talking policy for a while, changing the cadence of your voice boost engagement. Right. Yeah. She's not just standing there speaking. She's talking to people, which is the thing. That's where that's the reason that this doesn't bother me. Well, it's not the only reason, but one of the reasons this doesn't bother me in any way. So what? She's talking to the people that she's addressing, right? She's not just talking at them. She's talking to them. And the fact that she's connected to them in a way that she's using their accent, I don't think that it was necessarily done to be mean or anything. She may have just done it jokingly. I didn't watch the whole speech. Beamsy said, it was also a difference in speech aspects due to volume and emphasis. You cannot compare. I agree. They do that a lot. The one where they said all the cops said she was drunk and stuff, they had slowed it down. It was very obvious too. I don't, let's see. Maya again. Hillary Clinton got the same shit. She used a Southern drawl when speaking in South Carolina. She was using when in Rome technique. There's no need to feel any kind of, it's so what? That's what I say. So what? So why does that matter? Why does that have any effect on who you may or may not choose as the president because of the draw in their voice? I care more about what are they going to do to solve the problems that America's facing and make it a better country for all of us. Who cares?
They're stupid.
I don't care if she fucking talks backwards as long as she gets shit done.
They're always ignorant. They're ignorant and they're disgusting with their attacks. They're sexist, racist attacks. That's all they got. And you need to learn to spell. You can't even spell. So
if I need to explain what traditional values are, I can't help you. No, you don't need to explain what they are. Here's the question, BD. I'll pose this to, and you can answer me in Discord or whatever if you want. But here's the question. So, what values do you see promoted by the Republican Party that are not or cannot be carried by the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris, and her campaign? What specific traditional values are present that are not present within the Democratic Party? And you don't have to answer now.
Let's just put her out. Now she's making about half racist comments.
Well, yeah, kind of. Let's not do that. I'm not going to kick you out right now, Behe. If somebody else times you out or whatever, I don't care. But if one of my mods are bothered by what she's saying or whatever, go ahead and do a timeout or whatever.
Bothers me.
If I need to end up banning Behe again, I will. But traditional family values equals stringent rules that Christians force on others. Yeah, that's the thing. You talk about traditional values. I don't want traditional values. I want modern morality. Please, let's not go back. Let's
No, you see, why does everybody hate my pit troll? Maya, you can have her.
hey AJ, you come down to Georgia over the weekend, and now you talk like a dirty bird, and I'm just saying y'all are right. Yeah.
Is that AJ's girlfriend?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know nothing
Is
about that.
is that the girl that you?
I know Stacy's a regular over on AJ's stream. I know that, but I don't know anything about her.
Is that Stacy that you? Is that who you went to see this weekend? AJ. If so, hey Stacy.
Yeah, she says you came down to Georgia over the weekend. So yeah. Glad to have you here though, Stacy. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
I've seen you in AJ's stream for years, actually, but AJ said that's true. I've been eating nothing but peaches since I got back and talking with a draw. That's funny. Yeah, I agree with this, Maya. First of all, the values are not traditional. They speak to a mythical bad. Yeah, there's nothing traditional about it. It's just rhetoric that they use, loaded terms, you know.
It's misogyny and white supremacy. That's traditional values in Behe's book.
Yeah, they talk a lot about the 50s and 60s, like or the 50s especially. They say, you know, traditional values like the nuclear family and stuff like that. But also, what was going on in the 50s? The Civil Rights Act hadn't been passed yet, so things were segregated and racism was rampant in the United States. Martin Luther King Jr. was out there, you know, doing his thing, and they were having protests and stuff, peaceful protests and things. Like all that stuff was going on. Like you talk about the values. I don't know that I would want any of that. Like women had less rights. Of course, they're trying to move back to that again, you know, but
we ain't going back.
Yeah, no, we ain't going back. Stacy is the devil that went down to Georgia. The devil went down to Georgia. He's looking for his soul still. Huh? He was in a bind. He was way behind. I don't remember the rest. But Al Trucker, we greeted each other an hour ago. What you saying, Stacy? All right. So, yeah, we won't go back. Definitely. Yeah, nobody wants. That's the thing. We talk about these traditional values and the way it was then and stuff, but like 80% of Americans don't want that shit. They want to move forward. Like, why are we trying to go back to things that failed and made America worse for people? Like, just because America was a better place for a small group of old white men in the South that were racist, just because it was a better place for them back then and nobody challenged them, doesn't mean that it was a good thing. Like, it's nobody wants to go back to any of that. Like, America doesn't want that. Americans overwhelmingly want common sense gun laws. Americans overwhelmingly want women to have bodily autonomy. Americans want to see us move forward, not backwards. So those traditional values were flawed. I mean, that's the issue, right? They value is the wrong word, and traditional is probably the wrong word too. Instead of saying traditional values, let's just call it what it is. We don't want to go back to traditional values. We want to go back to it being okay to be a racist, xenophobic, bigoted, sexist, misogynistic piece of fucking donkey shit.
I said, like, misogyny and white supremacy are traditional values according to the right.
Yeah.
And we got those are not they're not values, that they're weaknesses.
Yeah,
is what they are.
Yeah, they weren't. It's not a positive thing. Like,
if you're a white supremacist, you're a weak-minded human being. If you're a misogynist, you're a weak-minded human being. If you're racist, or if you're sexist, you're a weak-minded human being. That's period. That's what you are. Weak-minded.
What is the first line of hold on. Is it the Constitution? Anyway,
Which one?
the all men are created equally.
That was the Bill, the Independence, the
Declaration of Independence. You know, like that is the opening line of one of the most important documents, doctrines, whatever you want to say, of the United States. And all people are created equally and should be treated as such under the law. Like, why does anyone have a problem with doing that? Like, what is the argument to not treat all people like people under the law and individually too? But let's just talk about, you know, the law for the moment. Like, what is the downside to treating everyone equally? To having the same rules, laws, expectations, and consequences for everyone. I'll wait. Go ahead and answer. Also,
well, they act like rights are pie. You know, that if somebody else gets rights, they get less, and that's that's not how it works. And oh, you like comma? Yeah, that's what you do.
All right, so
ignore her.
Let's end our poll. It should give me the results, right?
Unfortunately,
did I end it and it's not going to tell me the results? It was 89% blue. I took down the poll. I thought it would display the. I thought it gave me a thing at the end whenever I did that. Why did it not give me a results for it? What the fuck? All right. Well, anyway, 89% of people picked blue.
That sounds like we had more than one person that clicked red. Did we have two in here? I know B probably. Did you vote in the poll, B?
So that means only 9 people voted. She believes that all Americans should have rights regardless of accent. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. I was taught in 4th grade that no American is above the law, not even the president. I guess that I was taught wrong. Excuse me, sorry.
Yes, you were. You were taught wrong.
Yeah.
I
Unfortunately,
feel like I was taught a lot of wrong stuff about America. I was taught that, you know, freedom was, you know what I mean, and they were for freedom and freedom of religion and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that. Again, this goes back to something we've had to talk about a few times in this election cycle, is some of the racist ideals, laws, and even culture that are baked in to the American culture. You know, slavery was a thing in the United States for a long time. So whenever people were voting and making laws and setting up communities and schools and towns and deciding where people were going to live and all of that stuff they did it with their present situation in mind, which was the past. But they were looking at the world around them and doing it according to that. Now, I'm not saying that makes it right, but so when they made laws and set up communities and did things, they did it. They automatically baked in some of the racist ideology that was present in Americans at the time. And it's been a long road trying to undo some of those things, because what happens is whenever you start making laws or decisions or taking positions that are based strictly on race, sex, religion, things like that, whenever you start doing that, even if you're trying to do good things, if you say, I want to give flowers to all black folks, like if you say that, like that's not being harmful to them, but you're still singling out a group of people only because of their race. And that's the wrong way to approach any of this. because when we talk about race is actually like that word. It's actually a misnomer. It's not even the right word because we're all the same race. We just vary in the way that we look. But why should we discriminate or treat people differently based on that? They're all people. And like, I don't care what you choose.
Based on the melatonin in their skin.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you got more melatonin, you're a piece of shit. Like that's crazy. That's a weird thing to say, right? You know, some of the studies and stuff, they've said that, you know, here and I think it's soon too, like in the next couple 100 years, everybody in the world is going to be like a shade of brown, you know, like it's, I mean, but why does that, we vary, but we're all the same race. Race isn't even, it's not the right word. Neanderthals were a different race of you know, like.
Well, Beamsy corrected me. I gave sleeping pills. Melatonin.
My kid takes those at night sometimes whenever he's wild at bedtime, and you know, if I wake up in the morning and my kid is brown, Laura's going to have some explaining to do.
You can't actually even look at. I was going to say let's farm down there, but look at the skeleton until it's sex. I'm sure is what you meant, and not its gender, but the sex. You really can't tell the sex. The only things that can sometimes is there's a you know, there's a area where the female usually goes and where the male usually goes on the width of their hips and stuff like that. But even that is not an exact science. There are men who are born with wide hips, and there are women who are born with narrow hips. I know. I knew you probably that's what you meant. And so, you know, even they can't even really look at a skeleton and tell that for sure. That you know, I mean, because some women have narrow hips and some men have wide hips. And they just base that on the width of the hip a lot of times. And then also like the thickness of the skeleton, of the thickness of the bones or whatever. And there are women who have thick bones, and there are men who have, you know, relatively frail like bones. And so it's just kind of you know, normally kind of thing.
But
it's not exact.
Let me join this conversation with I'm not an expert on this, and I may be wrong, but and Let's Farm said it's the opening in the pelvis.
Yeah, but it's still.
I think in adults the female pelvis is shaped much differently. But whenever we talk about that, you're going to have like this is the male and this is the female pelvis, right? You're going to have everything from right here to where they're almost the same, all the way to out here to where they're completely different, because there's a lot of variation in humans. So
they're not shaped different. They're not shaped different. They're not. Ask AJ. Tell us, AJ. They're not shaped different. Because they can't not tell. I mean, if they were shaped different, they would be able to tell when they look at a skeleton.
They
if
do.
It's a male or female, and they can't. They usually use the width of the opening to based on what is normal. You know, what is like a thing, but it's not, you know, the wider notch usually means that the skeleton remains to a female, but that does not, it's not an exact science. And there are some,
that's what I'm saying.
Born, you know, it's like they're not made different. Our hips, I mean, our pelvis are made the same, male or female. It's just the most, you know, natural selection has given women normally a wider notch there for childbirth, but that is not the exact science.
let me read from an article posted by Binghamton.edu. It's a university. It says humans are sexually dimorphic species, meaning that there is discernible size and shape differences between males and females, St. John explained. When determining a skeleton's sex, experts normally look at the pelvis because female pelvic girdles are designed to allow for childbirth, an attribute obvious to a trained eye. In general, biological males have larger builds, robust, to use the terminology, with larger muscle attachment sites. There's also some differences in the skull. It looks like there's a few, but yeah, you're right. It's not a absolute, right? It's not like, oh, you can tell every time, because they don't always know. But
Bree agreed with me.
well, that's what the science says. That's all I was going on. No, it's not about if they've given birth. It's their pelvis is different so that they can give birth. In adults anyway. I think in children it's harder. But again, I'm not trying to claim, and neither is that study, that you can tell 100%. I'm just saying that's how they identify them usually. There are things that will tell you 100%, but not in every case. Not in every situation. I'm actually agreeing with you. I'm just making sure we're thorough about what we're saying.
It sounds like you're trying to anyway.
Yeah.
But they're not different.
They are different. They are different. Yes.
Bree said they're not different.
Well, she's wrong.
Even PC says that they're not different.
Well, she's wrong too. Or I won't say she's wrong. I'll say that doesn't agree.
Y'all heard
with
that?
scientific. You're disagreeing with the scientific consensus. That's what I'll say. That's all. I can't say that you're for sure wrong, but it doesn't matter. I will post the link for the article, though, if anybody wants to look at it. Actually, Joe is wrong. Yeah.
That's
okay. I don't care to be wrong. I'm not wrong about this one, though. But I don't care to be wrong. I'm wrong all the time. Hey, if I was right all the time, this would be boring, right?
Joe is disagreeing with the scientific
consensus. Damn you! You got me there, don't you?
I mean, that would make it real easy if they were made different. You know what I mean? And they're not. It's not easy. It's based on a general, like, you know what I mean, a spectrum. Right. Is what they base that when they sex the skeleton on the width or whatever. It's kind of based on a, you know, like a median, you know, sort of thing. And it's not, they're, you know, they're, like I said, they're 80 or 90% accurate or something like that. 93 is what PC
This I agree with. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. If they were made different, they would be 100% accurate, right?
Well, it's variation.
Made different
is the thing.
I mean, it's just based on that. It's based on a median of the width of the.
So I will point out that it's not any one thing that they use to make that determination. I know we talked about the pelvis, but there's also differences in the skull, the arms. But again, these aren't 100%. It's something that more often than not, you can determine the sex in adults, but not always. So I hope we all come to a happy compromise there. If not, sorry. But how do I?
As long as you agree with us.
As long as I agree. Yeah. Don't bring the talking snake into this, AJ. Damn it.
I have big heads. I have a big head still, AJ. I still have a big head. And all right, my daughter, you know, my mom had 2 C-sections, and then I would have died in childbirth too. My oldest daughter, weighed 10 pounds and 1/4 ounce when she was born. Her head was like as round as a basketball, and there's no way that was I mean, they told me. I remember they told me one
Where's
time
this
that
going?
well, I was just saying it could be heads. There's no way that I would have gave birth to that child. You know what I mean? There's no way that I would have gave birth to that child. So thank science that I'm here, because traditional values would have buried me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My two youngest boys were they were both born C-section. My first child by blessed big head.
Such a big head.
Yeah.
It's
my
BBS.
my first kid was born vaginally, and I think I still have flashbacks of that occasionally. But
yeah.
I
actually had an ex that used to call me head. That was what he called me all the time we were together. That's my youngest daughter's dad, and he called me head. That's what my name was.
Yeah. Let's farm. I like this comment. I honestly didn't see snake when I read the Bible, because it's later cursed to crawl on its belly in the dust. I saw serpent. More like, I agree with you, because I think that the curse was that they are cursed to crawl on their belly. So there weren't snakes before that. They were serpents, whatever they're referring to there. But I would have to say,
according to Aaron, they'd had legs, right?
They still have remnants. They still have vestigial parts left over from it. There's a species of snake that has little claws and stuff. Yeah, but that's actually, I think that's really an interesting thing whenever you get into, because number one, don't use the Bible as a source for zoology or zoology, however you want to say it. You will be disappointed.
Because kinds aren't real.
Yeah, because. Yeah, because and I also love the fact that all of these creationist places, Ken Hand, Kent Hovind, and the AIG and all that, they're all they want to say that God created all these kinds. Well, the problem with that is 90%, 99% of everything species that lived are all dead. So that means that God failed, or like, because if all those species are gone, then if 99% of them are gone, but we still have all these species, then how do you not? I think you have to admit there that evolution is the reason that we have different species and not those species.
I admit it.
Yeah.
I admit it.
But
there's only one of us. There's only one of us here that probably don't admit it. I think the rest of us are good with it.
What are we? It's good to always assume that Joe is wrong. Is that what we're talking about?
I said you said that we had to admit that evolution did it, and I said I'm pretty sure that all of us admit that except one.
Yeah.
There's only one of us here that won't admit that evolution did it. I'm sure.
Yeah, and ad populum is a may not be the best way to argue, but it is a hell of a point, right?
Yeah.
The
consensus. We just have consensus, not ad populum, just consensus.
No, I was talking about all of us here.
No,
agree.
I said we have consensus. Consensus.
Well, we're not.
We
I don't think we're in a position to make that. But
well, we understand. Most of us understand evolution a little better than just. We don't just go with because it's the accepted thing. Most of us understand. Some of us understand it a little better than others. I mean, I'm not probably very fluent near as much as AJ or Bree or, you know what I mean? So, but
it's
I understand enough to see how it works.
So, I mean, I would say that there are people who understand what the meaning of a scientific theory is, and the definition of what that means, that something has been observed and corroborated, and works in every situation where they attempt to observe it. So it's not a matter of, I accept that the scientific method is the best tool we have to explain the world around us. And I also can look and see the scientific consensus that supports that theory, that they're not just saying it's a theory, it's corroborated and observed. You can actually look at the methodology and how they got to that conclusion. So I accept that. I don't take the position. I just accept it as true.
Behe thinks the stork brings babies.
Mm.
She said kids are given, not born.
That doesn't surprise me. Not in any way at all.
It means the stork brought them, Maya. It brings the stork brought them.
Yeah. Which, I mean, also, doesn't that mean that dinosaurs did it? Babies come from dinosaurs? Is that what we're saying?
No, she said that kids are given, not born. And I said that she thinks the stork brought them.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Birds are dinosaurs, so babies come from dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
I was just being a smart ass.
Hi, Lena.
Yeah. Hi, Lena. I don't know you, but welcome. I'm glad you're on.
From Gather.
Robin's channel. I never met Lena and Gather either. I've been there. We'll have to hang out on Gather more.
Awesome.
I like coming and talking to you guys on Gather. That's fun.
And Star Song's here too. Hello, Star Song.
Hey, Star Song. I'm guessing Maya found her, or them. I don't know what Star Song's gender is. Anyway. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't want to assume. Anyway, I think that's all that I have for this evening. Do you have any other things that we need to get into today, Robin?
No. Did we go through all the clips?
Yeah, that's all the clips I got for today. Oh, sorry, AJ. I'll do better. Hold on.
Okay.
Here we go. Here we go. I got you. Reading them backwards isn't as fun.
I don't even.
Does anybody else have anything that we need to address before we get out of here? In the chat, anything, any questions, comments, super chats? You can send those if you want. Does anybody else have anything they want to get into? I'm not seeing it.
I sent you what I had.
Yeah. Most of those were yours. The first two were mine, but they actually all came from the same video. It was just I clipped out different parts of it. But all the others were from you. Yeah, I think that's a great answer, Maya. People should wait till they want kids. But all right, well, in that case, let's wrap her up. Okay. Where are you at and what are you doing, Robin?
Oh, this is pretty much it. Now, Saturday, I am going to stream sometime Saturday from the Kentucky Free Thought Convention, and I may or may not have Barnaby with me sometime during that. He's going to be there. But I don't know, I'm gonna have to see how the schedule goes. We get a lunch, but there may be some kind of meeting I don't want to go to or something. But
why don't you call me or hit me up on Discord? Do not text me. Call me or hit me up on Discord, and I will do like the same thing I did with Justin and do a live conversation with you guys from there. That way, and you can bring that way. You can go to your room, bring anybody else you want, like whoever. Find some friends that want to come talk, and I'll talk to everybody there, ask how they're doing, what's going on, and all that. We'll do a short.
And there's Amber too.
Yeah. Hey, Amber, good to see you.
And go watch it. Yes, I watched. And Amber, I loved your last book Book of Ember that video. I cried.
I didn't see that, so
it was not bad. It was good, but there were tears of joy.
Maya's giving it to Blessed Be He. Now, what are you talking about, Maya? That we're treating your troll bad over here. Oh, thanks, Stacy. That's very kind of you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope you come back and see more. I'm trying to arrange things. I'm learning as I go, and I'm going to be making some changes. I'm going to probably change the name of the channel to like Kentucky Skeptic or something like that. So that I can talk about more issues, pseudoscience and stuff like that. And I mean, I can talk about those things anyway, but so that people who discover my channel don't think it's only religion. I want to talk about a lot of those other things. And I've got a show coming up Sunday where I'll be talking to Mark Aislip. He wrote a book. He's a Kentuckian, talking about Journey to Reason, walking away from young earth creationism and Christian fundamentalism. And I think Tuesday evening, I'm going to have Ray Carroll come back and visit. Ray Carroll says that he was inspired by me to start a channel, and started a channel called Sober Without God, and has made a lot of great videos and stuff. So I'm going to have Ray back and see how he's been doing with that, what he thinks, how he feels about it all, and everything else. And after that,
it's a good place to.
Huh?
It's a good place if you've got addiction of any kind, right?
Yeah, no. And because, those of you that know me know that I care a lot about that stuff, and I spend some time talking about it and things. I've got, I don't remember who else. I've got some other people that I've talked to and things that are going to come on. I'm kind of like rolling back my scheduling things months ahead and stuff. Trying to do more because streams are kind of like the reason that you do a stream rather than a recorded video is so that you can do it in real time and give your opinions and thoughts on it at that moment. And it's live. You can interact with people live and all that stuff. So I'm kind of changing the way I do some things, and hopefully it gets better. There's going to be some format changes and stuff like that too, and I hope everybody likes it. I'm always open to, I'm not blocking you. I'm always open to questions and comments and any kind of criticism. I can take it. Tell me if there's things you would like to see, or things that I'm not doing or should do, or whatever, whatever you think. Like I'm open to people giving me their input. So feel free to do that. I want to continue doing a lot of the stuff I do, talking about politics, religion, addiction, and things like that. But I also want to talk about some other science stuff and things, some of the pseudoscience stuff out there. And I feel like it'll be easier for people to find that content if the channel isn't just called the Kentucky Atheists. That's going to take a lot of work, though, because I've got to go change the name in like 10 different places. So bear with me as we go through that. I'll probably actually change the link and everything too. It won't be at the Kentucky Atheist anymore. It'll be something else, but we'll get there. I'll keep everybody updated as we do those things or whatever.
I'm glad we didn't print off a bunch of T-shirts.
Huh?
I'm glad we didn't print off a bunch of T-shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Also, over on my Patreon, I set up a thing to where you can join as a free member and get a trial paid membership without paying for it. So that you can, because I post a lot of the behind the scenes crap and some of the longer formats of my videos and stuff over there. And I'm kind of working on how to figure out, because I do member streams for the members here, but I want to do some more stuff on Patreon. So I'm going to start. I've got some old videos and stuff that I've never published. I'm going to start posting all that stuff to Patreon and stuff. So if anybody wants to check that out, you can do it for free. You don't have to pay anything. The other way to support the channel is just like and subscribe. It's free. If you don't like it, you can unsubscribe and tell me to fuck off if you want. I don't care. It doesn't matter. but it's there if you want to support the channel. Kentucky will be in the new name. Yes, it will be Kentucky Skeptics or Kentucky Skeptic Society or something like that. Trying to think of a way to it's kind of tough. The Kentucky Atheist, when I came up with the name, was kind of a joke. I was saying like I'm the only one because it's Kentucky, you know. But as I've done this,
then he met me.
Yeah, that's actually what happened. Exactly. Robin was the first atheist I met.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
There's another one.
And isn't it cool though? Isn't it super cool that there's a bunch of us now though, Robin? Like, isn't that neat that there's all these atheists from Kentucky that have came together now?
Good idea,
Kentucky
Amber.
Intellectual Skeptic Society. I like that. I think it's too long for a channel name, but I like the I'm gonna have to find a way to incorporate that, Amber. I'm gonna steal that. Not that I think it would do you any good, but
Sydney.
But yeah, so anyway, I'm just working on trying to improve things and make it better and be able to expand and grow both an audience and stuff. You know, people and there's been this comment about me made by others too, that like I care about numbers and things like that. It is YouTube. It's a social platform. I do care about numbers. I do want to see people join. That's not my goal, but I want to be. I mean, like I wouldn't make videos if I didn't want people to watch them. That's kind of the fucking point. Like, I like that. Beamsy. These names, I may take these and use them as the membership stuff. So look, yeah, Beamsy, you might have had a winner there, you and Ember both. I may incorporate that into the membership levels. But yeah, so whenever I come on here and I tell people like, hey, you can submit super chats, I have memberships and stuff like that, it's not because I'm asking you for your money. It's because that's how you work the algorithm. It's how you grow a channel. So that comment's been made and I didn't really take it seriously anyway, but I just wanted to tell everybody, like, I don't care. Like, just subscribe. I don't care about if you give me your money or not. If you do, I'll use it, you know, to make the channel better. This screen behind me is Robin was the first person to financially support this channel, and she gave me $5 on Patreon, and I bought this green screen for $5 and change on Amazon. It's just a green sheet. So that's, you know, like, I try to do things to make the channel better and stuff. So it's, you know, I'm not good at asking those things, like saying, hey guys, send super chats. I don't like doing that. So it always comes off kind of weird, but I just want everybody to know that my intentions are good. But anyhow,
please go subscribe to my channel. If you're not, I got 81. So I'm getting close to 100.
Well, you got Let's Farm subscribed while we were here tonight. Are you counting that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's what I have when I come on.
Oh, okay.
I stayed at like 70. I stayed at like 75, and then we go 75, 74, 75, 74, and then it jumped up to 81, and so now it's getting close enough that I'd like to get over the 100 mark anyway.
I'll give you guys a little behind the scenes thing before we go here. Let me turn off my green screen. So this, you know, wrinkled sheet is back here. If I gotta move the light, but if we look up, never mind all the dust bunnies on. Oh, those are stars, not dust bunnies. Oh, some of it's dust bunnies. But you can see I've got just the green sheet hanging from the ceiling with that's paracord that I've taken and melted together so that I could tie it to the ceiling. That's, you know, like, I don't care that it's a janky setup. It works. I mean, my background looks good through the whole video, so you will find people are more and more generous. One of my subs sent me a new video card for my PC. Yeah, you can send me video cards. I badly need one. No, I'm joking. No, AJ, I have to say, people have been very generous and very awesome. They even when I first started, someone bought me a desk from my Amazon wish list. People have came in and given just $100 super chat out after $100 super chat. There's been a lot of generous people help out and buy things on my Amazon wish list, and so now we got both kind and quit, huh? Yeah. But yeah, so people have, and I have to say, there's been times when people have done things during a stream that I've almost like teared up because of people being generous and stuff. People have been very nice and very cool, and there's been people like when I say that Ray says he was inspired by me to start a channel, he emailed me and said, "Hey, I watched your videos and I see the things you're talking about and your deal with addiction and stuff," and it made him want to start a channel. That means a lot to me. That's like huge. That makes me think that the things that I'm doing are making a difference and are successful, and that's what I'm going for. It's not it's yeah, me too, Amber. I get emotional easy these days. I quit taking all my medicine, so I'm a little weird. But anyhow, the Amazon wish list is linked in the description, and it's also up at the top of the chat also. There's a if you go to the description though, my LinkTree has all that in it. You can go see everything I got, because there's Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. There's a link to Ray's channel too. Ray's great. We're gonna have a lot of fun talking. But anyway, I'm sorry that I rambled so much at the end of the video here, guys. But I'm kind of known for it. So you know, if you're new and you don't like that kind of thing, sorry. But I think that's all I got to say. Is that all you got to say, Robin? Again?
Yep.
All right.
Love y'all.
Love everybody. Have a great one. Goodbye.